Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to realiTEACheckpodcast, where tea is served and checks are dispersed. You know it, you know it. My name is Diana. We have Mare here, and we are joined. Oh my goodness, y'all. I'm actually so excited about this one. We are joined by the most wonderful, most amazing Selle from Who Asked Me Podcast. So excited. Selle is a special person for us here at realiTEACheck because she was one of the first people that asked us, and we were guest stars on her podcast. So we were the first podcast that we got to she was the oh my goodness.
No, she found us.
She found us. Thank you.
She found us. She saw us and she said, "I see you." Okay. And then
yes, thank you. Thank you.
There.
This is why everyone get yourself a Mare.
No, absolutely. You know, I like I told y'all back then when we first connected, I know how hard it is to get, you know, your feet going, get your feet wet in this podcast game, social media game. So anyway, I can help out, especially my fellow Black girls. I'm here to help.
Thank you, sis. We appreciate it so much. Yes.
No, thank you so much for joining. So, yes, we absolutely love to have you on. We love your content. We love diving in. So we're here to talk reality TV. The reason why we are all here, especially RHOA. So we know that everybody at this point has probably watched that pitiful reunion and has seen this most pathetic season. So we want to dive in about the reunion. I mean, is it not the worst? Is it not the worst season that we've ever seen?
The second part was a little entertaining.
Stop.
Okay.
It was, honestly, we did get, and I'm sure we'll get there, we did get an iconic moment out of this second part because I watched history happen as the most embarrassing reunion moment of all Real Housewives happened when Drew sang that song of Ralph. I remember the times of watching where not a white refrigerator, let's go get you a home. I remember watching moments like that in Phaedra Reed Kenya and things like that. And I was like, okay, wow, that really just happened. That's how I felt. Watch it. I said, this is happening.
Listen,
right now,
No, Diana,
like the thing is, it irks me because of the people, right? But it was low key giving Lisa Barlow singing "Away in a Manger."
Away in a Manger.
You know what I mean? And thinking she is giving it, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is actually reality TV gold. So it was giving that a little bit, right?
No, here's the thing, I really do think that Lisa Barlow was just singing "Away in the Manger." I think that obviously she can carry a little bit of a note. And then the internet she can, yeah. And then the internet blew it up. So now she's incapable of just singing anything regularly. She's got to be like, and I'm like, Lisa, it was funny because you were just oh,
you were just doing it right.
But Drew, and this is my thing about Drew. When people try and shit on her, she is an actress. I knew who Drew Sidora was when she joined Real Housewives of Atlanta. I knew who Drew Sidora was before the game because I was obsessed with Step Up. Please don't ask me why.
Diana, telling you about it. Yeah,
I was a dance movie person. I loved Honey. I loved Step Up.
It was actually okay.
Okay, Honey is bad.
It was okay.
Honey is bad.
Okay. The dancing was terrible. I know. The whole it was awful. I was like, this interracial relationship dancing thing is not working. It's not working.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
No,
but yeah, I'm a Save the
bad.
Last Dance, Step Up, Honey. Any dancing movie, I was there. I don't know why. But I knew who Drew Sidora was. So when people try and be like, oh, Drew, what acting are you doing? Blah, blah. I'm like, well, she has done things. Okay. And I understood what she was saying when she was talking to Kandi and she was like, I have a certain rate that I have to meet to stay in my union. I was
I think that was fine.
Trying to laugh at her. Sure. I was like, no, but she does.
I think that makes sense because that's her actual occupation. I'm not knocking her for that. For me personally, I just think Drew I think it just doesn't help her that she is just so happens to be an actress. I do think that she's just an authentic person, and a person that does try to fit in different spaces that she thinks that she can potentially benefit from. She knows that she can benefit from a friendship with Kandi. She knows she can benefit from a friendship with Kenya, and that's the space that she wants to be in. You know what I mean? Now that Portia's no longer here, she can't benefit from that friendship. Marlo, she can't benefit from that friendship, and she knows that. So I think that she knows who the easy targets are, and who she can potentially beef with or have a beef with, or whatever the case may be. And she knows how to maneuver herself and accommodate her personality, or modify her personality to match that, to fit in with whatever group she wants to benefit from.
Your analysis is giving her way too much credit.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think she's because I think she's a highly manipulative person.
I really don't think she's highly manipulative.
I think
like
so.
Every single time I think about Drew Sidora, and anytime she has told a white lie, whether it's about like the losing weight camp thing that she's doing, or whether
that's
it's
a
about,
white lie. I seem very black to me.
I mean, it's just very stupid.
Very red to me.
It's a stupid lie. It's just like Drew. Like it's stupid. She tells stupid lies. But the only time, every time I think about her, all I'm thinking about is, like I say, I think she's very close to the chest when it comes to situations involving her family and involving like her marriage. That's like the only image I'm getting of her. And so she's like silently suffering, right? And so what is she doing? She just continues to like try to cover it up, try to cover it up. So I don't really think that, I mean, really, if Drew was solidly like happy in her life, I don't think she'd be seeking out relationships with Kandi or with Kenya in the way that you're like assuming.
Period.
Right? I think that she doesn't even try as hard for those relationships as much as Marlo has in the past, right? Marlo is digging, trying to be friends with Kandi. Oh, Kandi loved me. Kandi be this with me. Drew is not really seeking that, like at all, like at all.
I think
so.
I agree with Mare. I agree with both of you, but more so Mare on that side, because when it comes to the family and the marriage, she does keep those things close to her chest. Let me tell you that my issue with Ralph and Drew is that they represent such an old school stereotypically
Thank you.
toxically black relationship.
Toxically black relationship. Yeah.
And I
can definitely agree with that.
hate it.
Yeah.
Like every time Ralph talks, I get so mad because he is just, it's like his learning stopped in 1998. Like it's like his idea of relationship stopped in 1998. And what we saw, like, we love those classic movies, those classic black movies, but then you also have to admit that those men were fucking trash. And
remind me when we're done with this to tell you what I like. There's a thing that I think, I don't want to say it publicly because I just don't feel that that's a public thing that I should say, but remind me afterwards what I really like to tell you something about that. But go ahead.
Oh yeah, and I just think and I also think Drew represses a lot because
Great word.
I remember her first season.
Marilyn.
Yeah, her first season.
Just so you know, if you use any type of, Mare loves words.
I love words.
just so you know, okay? So if you get artistic with your words, you got Mare, okay?
Her first season, with the whole Bolo thing, she was trying to give like very conservative, if you guys remember. You know what I mean? And I still to this day don't know why, because Drew, before that, the Drew that I saw was like kind of like sex symbol-y.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Free.
And so I was just like, all right, I don't know what she's doing with this. Like, oh, I would never, the Bolo of it all. And the kissing, what's that girl's name?
LaToya.
Yeah. It was just like, okay, you're obviously repressing something, and I get it. Everybody has their levels that they're comfortable with, but you are on TV. And you are like, you're with this group. You need to know who your friends are, right? These are your work friends. This is your job. So if you do something, i.e. kiss LaToya, even though the cameras were down, you need to understand that one of these women or some of these women are going to bring that up. And she
especially since this is not Hollywood.
Yeah, her
you know
first season, she low-key got like, there were like underlying tones of homophobia
with
in her first
Drew.
season.
Yes. With the whole kissing LaToya thing.
I also wonder.
True.
I also wonder if her conventional or seemingly conventional marriage has to do with the fact that her mom is a minister or a pastor.
Yeah.
Is a pastor.
And she's a church girl and everything, yeah.
And really, that's what we got. I felt like we got of Drew her first season. While also I felt like I saw a lot of internal conflict with trying to also fit in with the Portia and the gang and them and whatever, that whole Bolo situation. Because it didn't seem like she was holding back when Bolo was around. It didn't seem like she was holding back and she was really going in and having a good time. Excuse me. But it seemed like the situation really for her was like, okay, my mom's a minister, my husband's in Tampa, and these are the things that I have to reveal and whatever. I don't know with Drew. I just think that she is an inauthentic person, and I think that it also makes sense because she's been an actress. The cameras, she's only ever been around cameras when she's around a scripted show. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't. I think it makes sense that when she's around these reality TV cameras, that she can accommodate and change who she is. Because again, these are just the cameras that she's used to are scripted. So that's what she's used to. I don't think we'll ever truly get the real Drew in front of the cameras.
Somebody, and I hate that I can't remember who exactly said this. Somebody made like this good comparison to when Garcelle first came on her first season on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. How you could tell, like, as an actress who hasn't done reality TV before, she was lost. Like, she was confused because she was kind of treating it like a gig. Like, oh, I'm going to be on this show That's now, and this is what I'm supposed to do, da-da-da-da.
Yeah,
and she wasn't understanding. Yeah, and so she had a transitional period. I feel like I feel like that's what Drew is having an issue with.
And that's the same thing as I feel like that's the same thing similar to like Lisa Rinna. In a different way, right? Lisa Rinna was treating this as a gig. And she's made mention of that on her social media where she's like, I have to do my job. I have to play my role, right? Except the difference with Lisa Rinna, the difference with Lisa Rinna and Garcelle is that Lisa Rinna never actually got over that. We never saw her transition out of that. She was stuck in that. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
so.
Yeah, and Lisa, to your point, Lisa Rinna, she was good when she was good, but she took it too far. And historically, Lisa Rinna has played, just to be so free here, a bitch. Like if Melrose Place, I think it was Days of Our Lives, she has always been a raging, typecast as a raging bitch.
Villain.
A villain. And so she just like, I need that lady go see a therapist because like she took her job too seriously, and it's like you either like, you just morph into the person that you think people want to see. And it's like, Lisa, I think people would have rather actually seeing you. Like her first couple seasons were very messy. They were very messy, but they were like believable messy. You know what I mean? Because it was like with Yolanda and the Lyme disease, it was like, okay.
Munchausen's.
But
had we ever heard of that before though? You know what I'm saying? That's why it was believable.
And
I believe Yolanda.
People say that celebrities will claim Lyme disease when there's like substance abuse issues.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys have never heard that? Yeah, it's like it's just what the streets say, like that celebrities will claim Lyme disease when there's like a substance abuse issue because it's hard to like prove. People aren't going to be like looking for that, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it allows you to go away for a while and not be seen. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my. That's just what the streets say. Not know.
I know.
There are so many things we don't know.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Wow.
Well, either way, Mayor, do you have anything to? We are going to get back to Drew, so I do actually want to quickly break to Sanya. But do you want to say anything?
Okay. Oh no, you guys said a plethora. It was great.
I can't stand you. There she goes again with the word. See what I mean? Mayor loves a good word. But Sanya, real quick. So Sanya, what we got from Sanya was her sharing the story of her miscarriage, which I'm happy to see that she is pregnant. Sanya looks absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful pregnant. She is glowing. Her face is just I don't know why. I actually love Sanya with like a little bit of weight on her. I don't know. She looks really good. So love she looks absolutely beautiful. So we saw Sanya, my goodness, share the story of her miscarriage and also confront Kenya about not reaching out to her and not showing up for her during off-camera moments. So I'd love to hear what you guys think about Sanya confronting Kenya and not actually showing up for her.
I'll start. Sanya needs to stop. I'm sorry. Like, she just needs to stop. Kenya forever will be my girl, and I do not care what anybody will say. But the thing is, she just needs to stop. When she brought that up, I said, you could have taken this in a whole different direction, right? You did not even need to mention anything concerning Kenya doing or not doing something or whatever and whatnot. And listen, Kenya is so bored this season. The way she just like basically was like, no, girl, like, no. I did call you. You didn't pick up. I like, no, like, we're not going to do this. Again, Sanya, Kenya doesn't like you as a person. Let it go. Don't ask to be her friend no more. It's okay. Let it go. Like, you know, and she just keeps coming for more. And for me, you keep coming for more for Kenya. Kenya's just going to keep dismissing you, or she's going to go and attack you. So stop it. Like, relax. Let it go. How many times does Kenya have to say, I'm not feeling you? Right? Let it go. That's it. That's all I have to say.
I agree with Mare. That I'm laughing because of what Mare said, but also it reminded me that there was this tweet. Somebody.
Oh my!
You guys watch Married to Medicine, right?
Yes.
Somebody was like, so you mean to tell me we have time to talk about you, and you want to use that time to talk about and to come at your coworker because you think she didn't show up with you? And they put that clip of Dr. Simone circling around.
I know, circling around a toilet, right? I saw
and
that.
She was like, when I say you don't use your brain.
Yo, I love me some Dr. Simone. I love Dr. Simone. I don't care what nobody says. I love Dr. Simone.
Because, like, that's exactly how I felt. Like, Sanya, you just simply don't use your brain. Why would you say that right now? My personal thing was, she was asked about her miscarriage, and I think the question was like, oh, did all the ladies like surround you?
Right.
She went down the line and was like, you did this, you did this, you did this. I was like, we're gonna do this. Everybody, we're gonna read off the list. Oh, like I had probably the same list I had to send thank yous out for my wedding. You know what I mean? Like, and when she was like, Kenya was like, I called you. And you didn't answer the phone.
You didn't answer
That's
the phone.
the same way I low-key felt about Kandi and Marlo. What she's saying is you didn't do enough. And I find that effing bizarre.
It's ridiculous and impossible.
Unless somebody just didn't show up for me at all. I would never, ever say, yes, you did this, but you didn't do enough. I find that so wild to me, because she said to Kenya, you didn't even send flowers. Are we supposed to be asking for the flowers now?
Did she say that? Really?
Yes. She was like, you didn't send flowers. She brought up flowers because I was triggered from hearing Marlo earlier in the fucking season.
The chicken. You didn't even give me chicken.
Yeah. You didn't want to help with
chicken
the food.
for the repass.
And exactly. And that's why we'll get there. Kandi said, I don't know your sister like that, like to be calling her on the phone. But like, I just found it. So I was like, Sanya, really? She just has nothing. She has nothing to do. She's too scared to beef with. She's really too scared to beef with Kenya. That's what it is at the end of the day. She's too scared to beef with Kandi because it's Kandi. And she beefed with Drew, but like, beefing with Drew is so pointless because she is going to just switch it up on you to the point then you're going to be like, wait a minute, what?
Drew's just going to run around in circles.
Exactly.
Oh, God. I am an Aries. I can argue with a wall for like 12 hours straight. But I feel like I would find arguing with Drew to be just draining.
Very pointless.
Like, draining.
Very pointless.
Like, I would hate it. Because I'd be like, you're just going to take a sharp left turn whenever I start making too much fucking sense.
Yeah, exactly. I absolutely agree with Drew. But I think I'm different when it comes to Sanya.
She loves her. She loves Sanya. She loves her.
Well, not love is a very strong word.
I tried to rock with her.
I just think that she's on the wrong side of history. I mean,
like
for you,
Mare, anyone that's not on Kenya's side is on the wrong side of history.
No. That's not true.
I'm historically not a Kenya fan, though. And that's what I think people don't understand. Historically, I am not a Kenya Moore fan at all. But when she's right, she's right. I'm with her when she's right. And I like the way she approached that with Sanya when she was like, no, I called you. Next.
I actually, so here's the thing, right? I think that Sanya is a very reasonable person. She's a very reasonable housewife. I think she's also very fair. I don't think that she tries to make things up for the show. I don't think that she tries to create beefs for the show. That's my personal opinion. I don't see that in Sanya. I could see really myself being friends with Sanya in real life. Hold up, Mare. Now, here's the thing. I think the point is, no, because I see you getting ready, Mare. I think the point with Sanya is, I really do think that she's trying to cultivate real relationships on this show, which is why Drew was such a shock to her when Drew switched up on her.
Yeah.
On camera, like versus on off camera versus on camera moment, right? That was truly a shock to her, and that's why I think we got the reaction that we did from her. Now, same thing with Kandi and Marlo. And Sanya has said it just so happens that during this season, she did get closer with Marlo, which is why we see her more siding with Marlo or whatever the case may be with Marlo. Now, with Kenya, I feel that from Sanya. Now, I do agree that Sanya, like, just give it up. She don't want to be your friend. Like, I think that's just where her and I differ. If someone don't want to be my friend, you ain't got to say it but one time. That's it, right? But for me, what I see from Sanya is I keep trying, and Kenya is known to be a professional victim, right? Before you try to pull the victim card. No, Mare, hold up. I let you say that you love Kenya and that she is the best. So let me say that she's a professional
victim.
She is. She's a professional grade A victim. So like I was saying, like I was saying, with Sanya, before you say that you are the victim in this situation, just know that I have done my due diligence to try to be your friend. Now, next season, if Sanya is still there, I don't know what's going on for next season. Gone. Well, we don't know what's going on with RHOA, but we'll talk about that later, right? If Sanya is still there, honestly, for me, if I were Sanya, stop all communication with Kenya. Stop trying to do anything with Kenya. And let Kenya do her thing. She will definitely try to victimize herself and tell you that you excluded her or some nonsense.
Oh, please.
That's exactly what she will do.
Let me say this. I think Sanya's just not good at reality TV. I think she is just genuinely not good at reality TV. And because I think it was last year, one of them said, I think it was Drew, was like, you don't always have to take the bait from the producers. I forget the technical name that they call it. But she was like, you don't always have to take that. Okay. But then Drew turns around and does the same thing, for the record.
I'm about to say, I don't know if Drew takes her own advice.
Yeah, no, she's right message, wrong messenger. But, right. I just don't think, like you said, Sanya is trying to cultivate real relationships from this show, and that's her mistake right there. Because I hate to break it to her, not even Marlo is trying to cultivate real relationships. Marlo just wants to be in on something that she feels like she kind of was left out of for so long, because that's where Marlo's headspace is stuck in. It's the fact that she was the little girl. I've never seen somebody need to speak to their inner child so damn bad the way Marlo Hampton does.
That is very
painful to me. It is painful. Usually it's men. Okay, usually it's the men that it's like, please talk to your inner child. Marlo, she got that shit bad.
I 1000% absolutely agree, because there's this form of rejection that she feels, and then you can see her almost clawing. Oh my goodness, my words are failing me today. I'm sorry, Mare. Thank you so much. Clawing at like a way or a level of acceptance that's like, ma'am, can you sit down and relax? Like, what is this? And I think this is a good segue into Marlo's story and her situation with Kandi. So this season, what we saw from Marlo was she got mad at Kandi because Kandi didn't send her flowers when her nephew passed away, which, rest in peace to the nephew, and I'm so sorry to the family of that person. But this happened, I think maybe by this point today, today is the 13th of September. This probably was 3 years ago, because it happened during the pandemic. So she was mad at Kandi for what happened 3 years ago. What are your thoughts?
Y'all know I was vocal about this back when it was happening, because I was so damn irritated. Like, I truly was like, what the actual F? I think Marlo was in need of a storyline, okay? And you notice that they didn't spend too much time talking about it on the reunion.
I tell you, Diana? I told you. Exactly. Go ahead.
She was in need of a storyline because there was nothing else. And it's a shame because there is actually other stuff that Marlo could talk about if she wasn't so busy trying to hide those things and make up stuff for the show. But Kandi, as we saw, and I think even the producers and editors must have been sick of it, they had that whole montage at the beginning of that one episode that showed holes in both stories as far as Kandi and Marlo go, but I felt like more so in Marlo's because if you are going through something, you're devastated, you're grieving a loss, and you're so mad at me, you think that I could do more, you're not texting me about Cameo. You're not talking about, yeah, let's get to the money, sis. Like, use my code to sign up, blah, blah, blah. Now, on the flip side of that, do I think that Marlo probably was trying to find something to talk to Kandi about that she knew Kandi would get Kandi's attention? Yes. And that is money. Okay?
Right.
Like, Kandi is never misses a check burrs. But to bring all of this onto the show and go at Kandi about it, and then even when Andy asked her, like, why were you so triggered when there was about the shooting at Kandi's restaurant, and she says, "Are you kidding? A shooting at Kandi's restaurant? My nephew was shot."
Right?
No.
Right.
Like I just wish Andy would have done his job and been like, right. But Marlo, you said that the guy who shot your nephew actually didn't work at Kandi and the Gang. It was just somebody who came in there that her nephew met at the physical restaurant. Are you going to be calling the Waltons for money if your nephew would have met him at Walmart? Like,
correct.
What do you make things make sense? Make the dots connect.
But I feel that Marlo does not have the language and the wherewithal to actually want to make those dots connect. And I think that's what I said when this whole thing was happening. Most especially because here's where Marlo truly actually did lose me. Originally, it sounded like her issue was when Drew said the word incident. It sounded like her issue was that people were not being direct. But with Marlo, people are direct. And I was like, okay, that's a valid point. But it didn't make sense, and it didn't when she started with the whole nephew shooting 2 years ago, this one, that one, and I'm like, that's not the point that you were trying to make. Therefore, it's kind of like it's all over the place, and I just don't think that Marlo has the language to be able to actually make the point that she's trying to make and just make it that. She just is all over the place.
And
Go ahead, Mare. What is it? What is it, Mare?
Honestly, I don't want to continue to give people like the benefit of the doubt about certain things. I'm so sorry. Like, what is she in her 40s?
But Kenya gets the benefit of the doubt.
No, Kenya, even with me, I can critique Kenya when she does something bad. I like there's no issue with that. Like, if I can like someone and critique them, okay?
I'm about to go into our little archive.
We can go into the archive, but I'm a great defense attorney when it comes to certain things, but it's all right.
We know. That's why I'm about to go into the archive.
Anyway,
go ahead.
No, but like we're giving her too much credit. I do think like Marlo, like you guys were saying, like, her inner child, she needs to talk to it and all that stuff or whatever and whatnot. But at this point, the reason that I can't stand her is because of the fact that like she doesn't behave like an adult, right? Like she does not behave like I'm like, you are this old and this age, you have gone through X number of experiences, and yet still you can't reason like an adult. Right. I agree with the thing about, okay, she wanted them to actually say shooting versus saying incident, because saying incident is covering up Kandi's, story and all that stuff. And okay, but then all of a sudden she saw an in.
Yeah.
She saw an in to bring this whack story, right? So shooting. And then even when you think about her sitting down and talking to Drew, oh, I'm doing active listening. I'm actively listening. I'm sitting down and then all of a sudden she goes, my nephew shooting was shot. And I'm like, this is so forced. Like this is so forced. And it was just not real to me, like at all. So she saw an in to bring the story. And I remember her doing interviews with, people with Sheree, and they were talking about, we made Kandi work for her peach this season, right? She had a plan. I'm not going to say that like she didn't know what to say or how she had a plan. right? But it's unfortunate that she used such a tragedy to bring that to the forefront here. So for me, Marlo can miss me. I don't care.
It is unfortunate that she used such a tragedy, especially because
stupid.
all I keep thinking about is the mother of that person that passed away.
The thing I'm also mad about. Did you guys notice, like in the season, she brought that sister?
No, that's the other sister.
Or was that
that's another sister.
The other sister.
Like, why are you bringing your family into that conversation? Like, it's just like,
Let me say this. I think that we may be giving Marlo's family a little too much credit because at the end of the day, they are related to Marlo. I don't think that those people had any issue with her making that a storyline. And I'm just like,
that's a good point.
I'm sorry. Like, I really don't think so. When I thought that, because I was with you, I was like, this is unfortunate. The mother of that young man, like, that this is getting turned into something we're talking about because of a housewife show. But when that other sister came on and was like, yeah, she should have done this, she should have done that, I said, oh, this is Marlo and her damn family.
Birds of the same feather.
You know what I mean? I feel dumb for thinking more of them. With Marlo, to both of your points, like, I just see, she cannot communicate like an adult, and I've never seen somebody's child, like inner child, hop out so quickly. Because with Marlo, it's like the inner child and the inner teenager, and at different times. Because, like you said, with my nephew's dead and storming out, that was the child. When they were in, was it Montgomery? Birmingham.
And she's slamming the door.
Yeah. And she was like, I'm going to go bang on Kenya's door. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to slam the door. That was the teenager. I was like, and I said this, I'm sorry, we would have gotten kicked out of that hotel because I would have been like, you are fucking kidding me. I don't care how big you are. I don't care anything about that. You just slammed a door, and Sheree would have gotten a piece of me too. You're dumb. Like, I'm sorry, Sheree is not smart. Like, my friend had to remind me that she's got a 9th grade education, but I still feel like a lot of this shit Sheree does should be common sense. I feel like it should be common sense. She just like, I'm like, what's going on up here? Even with Sheree talking about Bob and that daughter that you all found out. Sheree, that doesn't have anything to do with me. That child existed the entire time you were married to him while you were making the babies you have with him. What are you talking about? Please stop saying stuff. I can't. We have to. Sheree, I don't ever. She's done. I don't want to see her back.
I'm right there with you, Sheree.
I don't want to see her back. It upsets me because more than half the shit Sheree, her iconic quotes, they come from being a dumbass. They come from being not smart.
That's right.
And I hate that for her. I hate that for anybody. Really, truly. Like, because the thing with Sheree is it's not an act.
It's like who she is. And that's like
I was so embarrassed for Sheree. Yeah. And after part 1 of the reunion, I was so embarrassed for her. That clip where somebody cut it out and like it was her when she was standing up showing her body to Kandi. And she was like, she sounded demented. She was like, "What you looking at now, bitch?" I was like, I'm embarrassed.
That whole read session between her and Kandi was terrible.
Embarrassing.
Oh my god.
I'm like,
for both of them.
What are they?
It was embarrassing.
Like, they sound so dumb. The both of them. It was terrible. Absolutely terrible.
And they're OGs. They know better. They know better.
Candy's not an OG.
Why are we always saying like this whole OG thing is like who came first? Like Candy's been there since second season. She's beautiful. She's an original.
If that's the definition of OG, then wonderful. But she has not been. She was not a pilot. She was not part of the pilot season.
I barely remember who was in the pilot. Like initially,
yes you do. Yes you do.
Deshaun Snow, it's forgettable. I don't even remember. Right?
Oh my mare.
Oh come on.
But here's the thing though. I'm not going to argue about like a simple fact. It's just that, right? Kandi was not there the first season. She was only there the second season. That's just, I'm not going to make that up.
She's
been doing it for a long time.
But when
she's been doing it for long.
I mean, like they've had enough reunions under their belts, and you guys have studied under Nene Leakes. Okay,
period.
You know what to get up here and do now.
Period.
For the record, Sheree got chewed up and spat out by Nene each and every single
time.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So
she should know what a good read. She should know what a good read feels like.
Anything up. You didn't want to. I would be like, if I was studying under Nene, I would be like,
okay, yeah, let me do that.
I'd be like, and then there, and that's when I do that. Okay,
like
I'm not gonna hold you guys. I gave up on Sheree. I think it was season 9 when Kim was on. That season where Kim was annihilated,
came back. Yeah.
Sheree showed me exactly who she was. She's not. She's really. You're right. She's really not. She's not smart. I'm not even gonna say as smart as we think she is because we don't. I don't think the perception is that Sheree is intelligent. So Sheree showed me who she was, and if you needed a little reminder, actually just go on Peacock and go watch season 9 reunions. That's all you need, and you see Sheree and her. She's just like aloof to reality. She doesn't even know what's going on, where she is, or what's happening. Spring, summer, or September. And that's Sheree.
How dreadful.
I do want to. Sorry.
Whenever anybody says that, I just automatically think of Kandi next. When Kandi tried to help her and she was
help her.
No, he's talking about da-da-da. And she, you get a clue. You get where whatever she said, and Kandi was like, "Why am I Kandi out there?"
And the fact that Sheree used that as like her tagline and her whole story for last season, and she thinks, I don't know if you thought we were laughing with you, Sheree, but we're not.
We're always laughing at her.
It's a big at you, yeah. But I do want to highlight something. I don't know if Mayor, if you've said it already, but something about Marlo and Sheree where they basically said that they are making Kandi work for her check this season. And a topic of conversation that came up at the reunion was Kandi not participating in the show and in the things that are going on. So I'd love to hear what you guys think about Kandi and her involvement in all the things that are going on with RHOA.
I'm just going to be so very honest. I think it's been sweet, Kandi. I love that you made it this far, but it's time to be a friend of or not be there. I think Kandi will always be around based on her connections because I really do think that if they dig deep within Kandi's connections, they could find people that would be good on this show.
Yeah,
but it's time to no longer hold a peach. It's time to no longer think of a tagline.
It's
time. You have done, and because I will not deny, Kandi, when they tried to say like, oh, Kandi doesn't show us anything. Have you been here, Marlo? I don't think that Kandi, if it were up to her, she would have had her mama trying to fight Carmen in the dress shop. Like she doesn't try and cover things up. I don't think she would have. She would have had us see how Mama Joyce talks to and about Todd. Like she has bared all. She has shown us a lot. I just think she's tired of showing us that, but she wants to continue to keep a check. She needs to keep NBC Universal and Bravo in her good graces. I heard that Kandi and the Gang is coming back. Focus your attention on that. Do the Lisa Vanderpump and
peace out.
I think she should make a documentary.
I know you were going to say that. I was like, Diana keeps saying like, no, what I will say is, I think if anything, if she wants to do it, she can do one more season and then she can go. Right. I think so.
What else do we need from Kandi?
I mean, she doesn't have to do that many episodes. The way that Nene Leakes was like, phased out. 6 episodes here, 7 episodes here. She can do like small little episodes.
But do we need a phased out Kandi? We already have a phased out Kandi or checked out Kandi.
I was going to say, I don't, in the words of Nene, I ask you, is that a coincidence? Is that a coincidence?
Yo, I'm so done with yourself. I'm so done. I'm so done.
Like they did that to Nene.
Oh my God.
Behind her back.
Behind her
what
back.
I mean?
Sure.
That phasing out was done behind her back. That wasn't done like, oh, she's kind of on her way out and she's tired of this and blah, blah, blah. Like, Kandi, I think this was her phasing out season. I think she couldn't even stay on the trip the whole time. You can't stay on the cast trip the whole time?
She was so busy.
She was in the hospital the entire trip with Kenya. And then
she was
left.
upset about it.
Right. And she was, I was like, what are you mad about? You're not doing anything anyways.
Hold on. I'm
no.
Y'all,
no, I mean,
she's better than me.
No, I mean, honestly, like listen, you guys, come on, y'all. Like,
no,
I'm sorry.
No, there's a time when I said
Kenya
the same
fell.
thing. Yes, she did fall, and I felt very bad for her. Well, I felt
You're
bad
wearing
for her.
slippers. You slipped wearing
Diana,
slippers.
how many people in the world? How many people in the world wear slippers?
What are you doing wearing indoor slippers?
She still fell.
Oh my God.
Like, listen to me. I work in healthcare, and listen. when people fall, it's a serious situation. Kenya is in her 50s, right? And this is a time where we are. She's in her 50s. Isn't she? Isn't she? Yeah, it's like in her early 50s. Is she 52? Look it up, because I'm pretty sure she's in her 50s.
She sure is.
I just listen. Here's my thing, and I said this about like Real Housewives of Salt Lake City yesterday when Lisa lost her ring. For non-emergency issues, you only have a little bit of me for so long. So I'm not with Lisa in the ring. I'm going to help you look for it. I will turn on my flashlight. I will be like, oh my God, am I going to stick my hand in the toilet? Am I going to stick my hand in the toilet? Like, what's her face? No. Am I sticking my hand in the trash or the tampon box? Absolutely not.
Sure not happening.
I'm going to be like, stuck their hand in the toilet?
And then, they were like, I stuck my hand in the tampon box. No, absolutely the F not. Like, I'm not, like, I will, and you're lucky, honestly, if I bend down and get on my knees in an airport bathroom to look for
that's
that.
Nasty.
Like,
all you got is a good flashlight, and I'll gaze for you. To go look.
And then I'm going to be like, I'm not even going to announce myself. I'm just going to go outside. Same thing with falling, like a non-serious fall. Mare, I know that's your girl. And that I do feel like if she could have tried to get up a little bit.
She could have gotten up. Yeah, she could have gotten up.
Kenya is very dramatic. I was annoyed.
That's the thing.
And why aren't you taking proper precaution?
Stop it.
Why?
Okay,
no.
She wore slippers, which is what people wear often. Okay,
Mare, I need you to stop. No. Thank you. Flip flops. These are hotel slippers. These are hotel slippers. Where do you think you're?
I don't know if they were hotel. They looked thick to me, like
you see what I think?
Thick to me.
I hope y'all see. I hope y'all see right now. This is where Mare.
My thing is people wear any and all types of shoes. Some of those women walked through that particular area with heels on. Any of them could have.
And yes,
like
their shoe wear constantly irritates me. Like constantly, the housewives across all franchises, the shoes that they wear to certain events, I'm like, can we at least? I understand it's about the fashions, but you could get a trendy tennis shoe.
Let's be realistic. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And one of them could have fallen, but it was Kenya that fell, and it wasn't that serious, and I wouldn't go to the hospital with her.
And obviously, apparently, it was her karma. Okay, listen.
I don't think it's karma.
It's not her karma, right? But the thing is, any of them could have fallen. It just happened to be her that fell, and it's the shoe wear that she wore. She could have worn heels, and she could have still fallen.
And it was
she could have worn boots, and she could have still fallen.
And it was her that fell.
So let's not make the shoes the issue.
It's not the shoe that's the issue. The reaction is the issue.
She wore slippers. You slip in slippers.
It's the reaction. It was a little bit of a delayed reaction, right? Like when she fell, and she was like, oh, and then all of a sudden she was like, oh.
Because Kenya didn't want to go hang out with them all day either, and that's part of my problem. No matter who I'm with, I can always go drink some wine, right?
That's right.
Like I can always go drink some wine, but Kenya, like, she just took it too far because once they were in there for like 3 hours on my honeymoon, I stepped on a sea urchin or something like that. I don't freaking know, and it got stuck in my foot. No, not the whole urchin. The stinger got stuck in my foot, but I didn't know it. I thought we were on this boat and people had like beers and stuff like that. I truly thought that a piece of glass had just like a small piece of glass had like came off and I stepped on it. So when I went back to the resort and went to the medic, I was like, oh, can you look at this? They were like, oh, you got a stinger in you, blah, blah, blah. They were like, do you want this? I was like, no. It's not that bad. Okay. Take it out. Put some ointment on it and then let's go. Like Kenya needed to sit on a pillow and some ice and that's it. I agree. Me being Kandi, no, I'm not going to sit in here with you and you're not going to sit here either.
But
especially if they think it's that bad, the conditions were that bad. I would have been like, Kenya, the jig is up. We spent less time with them. Let's go.
Right.
Yeah. I would have just. She could have just like fallen and said like, you know what, guys, I'm going to stay back. I'm going to rest in the hotel room. It's going to be okay, right? However, we do have the question mark of whether or not her butt is like real, right? So when she fell, what I was thinking about.
I'm so glad you said that.
Her butt.
I'm so glad you said that.
Thinking about all the things that could possibly be in that butt, and okay.
Maybe that's why she was scared. Maybe that's why.
Who knows? Maybe.
Listen, she made it a dramatic moment because she knows her butt is not real, and she has to really
she's gonna have to just admit to the fact that that butt is not all the way real.
It can't be.
It can't be real. It's just the way that it curves. And then the thigh ratio. It doesn't work. It's not
borderline. It's just not as big.
Yeah. Right.
She like. Well, she has thicker thigh. I think she has. I think what does her a favor from going full Chloe is she has a little bit more meat on her thighs.
Are we talking about Chloe?
Chloe has like. I think
Chloe
so.
has
Not Kim.
Not
meat.
Kim.
Chloe
Kardashian. If you look. Okay, you haven't watched. Yeah.
Chloe.
No,
Yeah,
if you watch the Kardashians, which you
that.
didn't watch, I watched their season. I looked at Chloe, and Chloe's butt is bigger than her thigh. The ratio is ridiculous.
It's
right?
crazy.
So it's crazy.
Okay,
and Chloe is thinner now. Like,
y'all would know because I don't.
Thinner.
You guys know I don't
So
subscribe to the Kardashian ministry at all.
Wild.
Yeah. I
I've seen.
actually don't watch them either. It's just I've seen pictures like
I was
when
bored,
it like
so I just watched it.
when people like, especially there's this girl on TikTok that
really?
breaks down her
wow.
plastic surgery, and I just love it.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, you can't escape pictures from them of them. You really can't.
No.
So yeah, I've just seen like the the difference, but Kenya's butt is.
Yeah, so she could have been concerned about a variety of things, and she just didn't want to admit it, right? Like, and I would be concerned too. I'm like, hey, like this might not be real, but listen, at her age, a risk of fracture is actually quite serious. So I'm okay with her going to the hospital and doing whatever she needs to do.
I'm sure you want to. All right, so Drew and Ralph.
Let's move on.
Drew, Ralph, the song, the sister, the Courtney, everything, all of the things. What in the world? I know we talked a lot about Drew earlier. This song heard around the world. I think this song was trending. I don't know if it's
good.
Yeah, I don't know if the song
It's like number 2 on the R&B
did it
charts.
reach number 2 because
it was number 2. Really?
it was that good, or because of the moment that it created. Let's be honest. Come on. Like, I really need y'all to come correct with this.
Listen,
some people in our comments are saying like, man, I would have been bopping to this in 2008. This was
it's giving
like,
it's giving old school
like
R&B. And that's kind of, I feel like that's kind of coming back, because if you ask me, that's what Candace from Real Housewives of Potomac gives. I will say their song Affirmations, I like that song. I listen to that song. It's Drew's song is giving Keisha Cole.
Wait.
Yes.
Like sent from heaven. Yeah, it's definitely giving Keisha Cole.
Yes, it's giving
like
it.
early thousands R&B. And Drew can sing. I just wish that was not the way we were introduced to the song.
I know, but I mean,
But you have to remember also, like when Kim Zolciak Biermann did Tardy for the Party,
but not because it was good, because of the moment that it was. You get what I'm saying? Like, and that's my thing. I wonder if we didn't see Drew,
but it was so
turning
terrible.
her head, talking to Ralph, talking about, was the woman that good?
No.
If we didn't have that, would this song really be that much of a bop?
Line to turn to him. I think it still would. I think it still would. I mean, maybe not to the extent that it is, because that made it like a song that people were like, you know what, actually, like, whoa. But then it's just like the association is the memory.
You know,
and
when
she turned to him perfectly, like, was she that good? Like, and then I made me believe, like you said, Diana. And then he just turned his face. And then he was like, looking over there.
You know when Drew will truly get me?
Like,
sorry, go ahead, Mary. Sorry, go ahead.
No, but Diana said something. Yeah. No, one thing I think is real right now is like the manipulative part of Drew. Drew probably said to the producers, I want to sing this song. Let me sing.
The fact that they let her.
They let him stay on stage. Why did they let him stay on stage? His section
everything was done. We had nothing else to talk about.
Drew. Like,
yes, and then Andy and his messy stuff. Like, she's singing to him. Like,
get over it. Andy was looking. Even look what Kenya was like. Andy was like, is she singing to him?
Right.
Is she singing to him? Oh wow, the faces Like, I really think that had they not let Ralph stay on stage, it would have been so different, right? I think we would have had better facial reactions from the ladies, like everything. The fact that he stayed on stage and she's singing directly to him, it was a scene out of the game. It was a scene out of a BET original television show.
Somebody had commented and said it was like Tasha Mack
some people
singing,
said also Amita Butterfly and Peter Guns. I'm like,
Amita Butterfly and Peter Guns?
Yes. It really was Tasha Mack.
Oh my God.
Round of applause. Standing ovation.
I'm so done. I'm actually done. I'm done. I can't do this. There's no way I can do this. Yo.
Wow.
It was. That's what it was.
It was so bad.
At one point, I did call them. Said Ralph was acting like Stevie J, because like what? Like, Ralph, we watched you go to Tampa and then make those. That's why Ralph drives me crazy, and I think he's such a scary human being in the first place. We watched you go to Tampa and not have any excuse for it and not tell us anything at all. We watched you tell this lady, I was trying to give you steak and lobster and you should have gotten a Lunchable. Where is your self-awareness? Where is your self-awareness to be like, even if I know that I didn't do anything in Tampa, I know that I have done this, let me just keep my mouth shut and have some type of humility, find the shame in the room, because this is what these people have seen. Where is it? And then Sheree with them damn text messages. What?
Like, I think maybe it was important. Oh, Lord Jesus, sorry. It was important, I think, to like know, okay, there are text messages, meaning Drew is, I don't believe that Drew is innocent in all of this, right? And I also do wish that Drew it takes two people, I think, to break up a marriage. Like, Ralph is a terrible person, but I also want to know, like, Drew, what are you going to take accountability for, right? But I just don't think that those text messages were for Sheree to deliver. Like, what is the actual point in the story that, like, Sheree delivering these texts that are allegedly incriminating, right? What's the point of the story that Sheree is bringing them? You know what I mean?
She should have gotten dragged. I really wish somebody, Drew, somebody would have dragged her ass for that, because that is loser behavior. I would have been like, I'm sorry. Even if I were Kandi, I would have been like, Sheree, why the fuck do you have those? And why do you think after you say a sentence like, oh my God, I so don't want to be in the middle of this, you pulling out a manila folder is proving that to be true. I would have called Sheree all types of stupid. I'm not kidding. I would have called her all types of dumb. For real. Yeah. Because why would you do that? You understand how that looks like we're actively working against Drew? 1, 2, those Ty nor Drew put those text messages out, right? So why anybody has
Why are you guys outing them?
Yeah, exactly. I don't actually care what Drew has going on with Ty, because it's after all of this stuff that we've seen Ralph do. Yes. 1, 2. Yes. I agree with like, what is your part, Drew, in this? And for real, I just think it's the fact that she was trying to live up to these standards of what a traditional wife should be doing. Because if you even remember her talking about Allison and Ralph and their relationship, and Ralph banning Allison from their home. I'm sorry, that's never... The only person that can ban my family from my home is me.
Right.
I will say, hey, you had this with my spouse, with my husband, and I cannot have that in my home around it. That's going to be the decision, whether I spoke to him about it or not. The deliverer and the person saying, oh, will not be my husband when it comes to my family.
I watched a video today by Pretty Brown Rise. Also, shout out to her. Listen to her. She's and also an amazing content creator and things like that. Yeah, and she made a point that Ralph did rebuttal and say your entire family actually iced out your sister. But that was not addressed. And I was wondering, I was like, like, no one has addressed the fact that, like, it wasn't only, per Ralph's claim, that it wasn't only Ralph that iced out Allison. So I wonder if that's true and it was the entire family, Like, what's actually going on there? You know what I'm saying? Because it does sound kind of crazy to me that Ralph was given this much power enough to ice out a person's sister, and Drew just went along with it, or the entire family, her mother, everybody that's been in that household just went along with it, right? So for me, it does sound more believable that the entire family did that, and because it was an entire family thing, that maybe what Ralph's saying could hold some merit.
I wonder if we're missing something then, because if she was just having mental health issues and there's no substances involved, like something like that, that is very harsh. But definitely. We know that, the stigma with Black families and mental health. So I'm just wondering, I think it would be very audacious if the family iced her out simply on the basis of she has mental health issues, and then to have her on the television screen, because I wouldn't trust, if I knew that that's how that went down, I would be like, she can't come on screen, because I know that the whole entire family, including me, iced her out just based off of mental health issues.
And especially because Allison is very comfortable in front of the camera, and she would say something, right?
She is.
She would probably say something to allude to that fact. That this is what happened to me.
What about the PI? Because Allison...
That's what I want to know.
There was so much. And listen, I understand that Drew has kids with this man. I do think at the end of the day, Drew ultimately protects Ralph. But I want to not give more. You can't say private investigator and not
like give us the tea. Like I mean, the way she was like, just tell him about the PI. Tell him about the PI. And then she's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm totally along the lines of, there are traditional marriages where if the husband says this is what's going to happen, that's what's going to happen, right? And so it could be that whatever point in their marriage at that time, Drew was like, it's my husband. I have to go with my husband. And that's what she did. But I definitely do think that she should stop protecting him. And if she is going to go through with the divorce, which they may not go through with the divorce because they're in mediation. They're in mediation.
Do you know how much mediation she has given this man?
I know. Years. Didn't the psychiatrist or the therapist that they were talking to, he said that Ralph is an actual
he can't diagnose
or something
him
like that. Diagnose him as like
he can provide
is
a
it
professional
maniac that he diagnosed him as?
Yeah.
Or like said that he's behaving like
a therapist.
But I mean, you can see that Dr. Ken, who I have mixed feelings about anyways.
It's so true.
But like when Ralph is like trying to gaslight him, even Dr. Ken is like,
yep.
And that's what, like, Ralph has I also just think that Ralph has no respect for women. I really don't, because the way he was talking, Kenya really was trying to help. Oh, she was trying to, and listen,
reason with him. She was trying to reason with him.
I don't know if one of Ralph's side chicks came and found my tweets or whatever, but she was fighting for her life in my mentions. Yeah.
What'd she say?
She was saying like Kenya overstepped her boundaries and that she shouldn't have been, and that Ralph wasn't wrong at all.
Oh, wow.
All of this stuff. It was so, I had to mute her because I was like, sister, I'm actually just going to call you dumb. But then other people, because the freaking tweet ended up going viral, of course, or mini viral. I'm saying viral. But it ended up making its rounds on Housewife Twitter, and I was like, shit. So I had to mute it. But then when I checked it again, they ate her to the point where she was like blocking people, which fine, I don't care, because why did you I was like, girl, do you know him like that? Like, it was very bizarre. It really was. And I don't think that like a Nene would have allowed Ralph. Nene wouldn't have allowed Sheree to bring those text messages up. Nene would have said something, okay? I don't think Nene would have sat there and took that from Ralph. Okay. And I do think that to a certain extent, the issue with this is the issue with Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Right.
Total. There is no more camaraderie.
Thank you.
There is no more sisterhood at the root of it. They are divided. And it's no longer about, okay, you've been my friend. I know what you're going through, sister to sister. Like, there is no more of that. And I don't even mean, because like somebody tried to explain it and I was like, you kind of make it sound like this is a trauma bond. At the end of the day, there's just no more sisterhood in Real Housewives of Atlanta.
I agree.
At all.
Right.
There's no more sisterhood.
I
and
agree.
that is the most devastating part.
Right. So let's talk about the last topic. So where do we see Real Housewives of Atlanta going? And what do we want to see change about the franchise moving forward?
What I'm hearing, like if I keep my ear to the streets, versus what I would actually desire to happen is a little bit different. Personally, for me, I believe that we need to miss Atlanta just a little bit. Yeah. Give it like a 3-year break, a 5-year break, whatever. Put it on pause. Go find another city. I know. I personally think that we need to.
I know, right?
At first, I'm not going to lie. At first,
numbers.
I was team bring Blast from the Past and do a Miami, like what they did in Miami type thing. Then I'm like, I don't know that's going to work because I'm tired. We need some evolution or whatever. Then I was X-nay this whole cast and let's bring a new cast. Then I'm like, I don't know that I want to even like Atlanta. I think I just don't want to hear Atlanta for a second. So I think I just want to miss them just a little bit. And let's go get an RHOA Savannah or RHOA New Orleans, another city. Let's be introduced to some new people in another city. And then bring back Atlanta in 2 to 3 years when we can actually miss them and like them or whatever the case is. But right now, I'm just done with Atlanta. I don't think I'm going to, if there's a next season, I don't think I'm going to watch next season. Going to be honest.
Here's my thing, and this is kind of my thing with Housewives in general. We are past the heyday of Housewives as we knew it, okay? People are not joining these shows anymore just because it seemed like if you listen to all the OGs, the Nenes, the hell, even the Ramonas in New York, all of the women, why they joined the show in the first place before there were like there was Housewives success, they were very much so like, I don't know, like if I want to do this and
yeah, people
now
really want
it's
to.
absolutely. And these people are coming onto Housewives with a plan already in place for monetization that is away from Housewives. They are putting the cart before the horse. We need people who want to make a show, who are, and I'm not saying don't think of monetization. Don't think of where this can take you. Of course you need to have that in mind. Absolutely. Now that we know where it can take you. We know where Real Housewives can take you. But we need people, housewives, that understand that while I understand that I can get here, I need to show the audience something. But at the same time, I put a little bit of fault on the audience because in the day and age of the internet, of social media, they stand these housewives so quickly. It is ridiculous to me. The fact that Lisa Barlow has been named iconic is actually ridiculous to me.
Diana thinks she still is iconic.
No, she's not. No, none of those ladies on Salt Lake City are iconic. None of the women on the new Roni are iconic. Right. Because she's in the 4th season. By the 4th season of Real Housewives of Atlanta, by the 4th season of Real Housewives of OC, Nene, Vicky, Tamra, none of them were being called iconic. They had to put in the time to become icons, and that is what I feel like is the issue. But these housewives, they play into the social media aspect. They play into these content creators who just simply want to be seen by the housewives more so than being, authentic to their own content and their own idea of what took place on the show. It's one of those things where we have to get back to the basics, and I don't know if we can actually do that at all. Okay, again, we need true camaraderie. That video of like the girlies, like it was Portia, Marlo, Nene, and I can't remember what season they were in, but they were all in the club, and like at that time, none of them were actually getting along. But it just so ended up that they all like, I think they were on a cast trip, and they ended up like going out that night, laughing, having fun, getting back to it in the morning. That's what we need.
Right.
Like I always think about Carlos King when he says, he asked Nene at one point, like, is your problem with Kenya that big of a deal? Like, are you like, can you get over it? And she said, no. And he said, I need you to throw me a bone because I can't make a show like this with you icing her out because the other women are following you. And she said, okay. And it's just that simple. It's just that simple. But then again, with the audience, it's always team so-and-so, team so-and-so. Nope. Like, y'all creating this divisiveness and it's too early.
No middle ground. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, that's a process.
No, that's a really interesting assessment. I'm gonna have to sit with that and think about it for a little bit. That was a very good. That's really good.
People always. Really good. Well, people are always like, okay, but you're a content creator who talks about this shit. Yes, but I'm also a content creator that's watched this shit from like the beginning. Okay, I also think that they need to put their blogs back. They need to go into social media freeze for all of them. And I'm sorry, I think that they need to not follow any of us. If I'm being so honest, they need to not follow any of us because a lot of these housewives, if you don't say something in their favor, they are mad. And I don't care. Okay, I don't care. But there's a lot of content creators out there that do care, and their content suffers because
continuously making PSAs after every episode. If you notice, she always tweets out some type of PSA or whatever nonsense. You know what I mean? So I agree that like I wish that social media was not a thing for some of these housewives. For sure, for sure.
Oh, they don't know how to take it. And again, I think it's twofold because a lot of these, the audience, they just want a piece of the pie. They want to feel like they got in on the drama somehow instead of just sitting back and enjoying it. Right. So they're doing their part to like be messy in social media and things like that. And these housewives are reacting. The housewives are human at the end of the day. They're human. Absolutely. So you can't help that. But they're like Drew is one. Bryn on New York, she is reacting to a lot. Aaron is reacting to a lot. Like y'all got to put that aside because people aren't gonna stop. Now, I'm not saying if people are threatening you or whatever, take it, with a grain of salt. But you can't react to every single little thing. You cannot over-explain yourself. That's what a fucking reunion is for. And if you feel like that you did what was true to you, stand in it. People will get over it. People will get over it.
They do.
And they'll forget it quickly, too. Yeah. So, it's not that big of a deal. No, you're right. Well, we will see what happens next season.
You guys will tell. Y'all won't tell me about it.
I'll be watching.
I'll be watching.
I ultimately hope that they do utilize the tool that is Kandi so that she can bring in. I think Kandi will be able to bring in some good women, a good group of women that will be able to, that in the words of Kim K, get their fucking asses up and work.
No, you know what? And I second that because she has such a huge network, right? Like a huge network. And we see it on her Instagram and everything, all that stuff. So many people. But she should be a friend of. She could be demoted to a friend of because I actually really liked how Cynthia was reintroduced back to us.
Yeah.
She had a connection to, a couple of people, and that's how it could happen. Like, we need somebody who could be like a grandmother to the new girls who are coming in. You know what I'm saying? And just like, hey, she could do that.
I appreciate Cynthia also. She said recently when it was asked, like, would you come back? She said, I don't have any more story left to tell when it comes to Real Housewives. And I think that's another thing with some of these older housewives. If as much as people don't want to admit it, Roni, those women, they didn't have any more stories left to tell. Were recycling them. That's where we are in Real Housewives of Atlanta too. I don't think they need to go on such a long break like Roni did simply because that was never their plan with Roni.
Yeah.
Right.
They didn't even have a reunion that season.
I know.
If you remember, that was never the plan. Ad space had already been bought. That was never the plan with them. It was pulled the plug. They have had time to get this together and realize what needs to be done. Even if they do a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills break. We usually watch them during the summer. Now we're getting them at the end. They were supposed to start filming in like the last fall. They waited, pushed them back a couple months. They started filming in June.
Oh, that is true.
June,
you know what I mean? Yeah. So even if they do something like that, but get some time because a lot of these women in Atlanta, their stories are done. We don't have anything left. Sheree cooked extra crispy.
Been done, never
Kenya,
had one, but
her story is done as far as It is okay.
Not
Even
interested.
if she has another baby, even with the salon, Kenya's story is done, especially because Kenya has grown, and I love that for her. Kenya's not going to be doing the same thing that she was her first few seasons.
So
okay, she's matured.
That.
She's grown up. Right, and she worries about what her daughter is gonna see, and that's what I want. If she were on that show for this long and had done all these things and hadn't learned shit, I would be like, okay, what's wrong with you?
Okay, what's going on with her?
Agreed.
The way that we're going with Marlo, like what's going on with you crazy
grown, done, like you know what I mean. So, and this might be like a hot take. I just want to see something. So I would be fine actually if they stripped the charades, the Candys,
I'm not interested in any of these people.
Kenyas away and left Marlo. Leave Marlo. I want them to leave Marlo, and I want to see something.
This is an unpopular opinion.
I just want to see if Marlo. I know it is.
Wait,
I know
it is. Finish your sentence. What's going on?
I want them to leave Marlo, and I want them to bring in I want them to take out Marlo's crutch, which is Sheree. Okay, and then her opponents, which are Kandi and Kenya. So she doesn't have anything to complain about anymore. She can't say, "You girls never gave me a chance," and and then her support, which is Sheree, who doesn't have two marbles that are shiny enough to bounce around and make other marbles. And put a fucking cohesive thought together. Sheree is just gonna go with Marlo because it's Kandi's op and it's Kenya's op, right? So I want her to say, I want to take those three away from her and see how she does in a group of mostly new women, and see. Then we'll really see who the problem is, and we'll really see if it's favoritism. No one ever calls out Kandi. You can't rely on the same old things, Marlo. So let's give her one chance. Let's go at it.
That is
definitely different hot take. And I would love
not heard
to actually see that.
That is.
I want to see it.
That. Yeah, because I would love to see that.
I don't like that she's leaning on Kandi, Kenya, and Sheree to carry her, and then I really think they're all carrying her because they've been there in different ways. They've been there since the beginning.
Yeah, it is the same argument that people make that Marlo is not a housewife. She's not a main housewife. She's good as a friend of the way she was with Nene. She's a supporting cast member. She can say things that Nene wouldn't be able to say because of the fact that she doesn't feature as frequently, right? So I think that would be very interesting. But I already know the answer to that question. Marlo is a problem, and she's a problem, and she would be a problem with new girls around her. I don't care. But Sal, it was so lovely to have you.
This was a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me.
So happy. This was so fun. I enjoyed this thoroughly. It was so good.
I appreciate you guys having me because I can really let my I tell people all the time, I really am kind of like a reality TV nerd, and people don't think reality TV and nerd can go, but I am. I think about this shit in depth. Yeah. And then, but at the same time, I can take it lightly as well. You know what I mean?
Well, Sal, we talk to each other about so we're like, man, she knows so much.
Honestly.
She knows so much. I'm like, what are we gonna do? With this, but she knows so much. But you are a thesaurus for us. You are an archive for us, and so we just really thank you because you just trigger memories of what we've seen in the past, and it's very, very helpful. If you guys need a housewife rundown,
and if you
please
love
go to Selle.
all things Love Island, we're not gonna cover it. Please
really
go to Selle. She's gonna tell you about Love Island. Okay,
because she's covering it.
I am to tell you about Love Island.
No, for real. We love her content.
Yes.
We love her. She's like a sister to us. We really do feel like you're like a sister to us, and we're so grateful for you.
Thank you,
honestly.
Of course. Like I said before, y'all know I got you, and especially with the TikTok is popping. I told y'all it's only up from here. It really is, and that's what it's only one video. People, it can be over time, but it is one video, and then it's whoa. And
wow.
I remember when my stuff started blowing up. I remember the first time I woke up and I logged in TikTok and it said 99 plus notifications, and I was my heart dropped because I was I don't know if you never, and it's really you do get a leveling of anxiety because you never know if it's going to be people being like, "Oh my God, yes, I love this, haha, you're so funny," or people are like, "What the hell is this?" I'm not gonna lie, I still get like a little bit of anxiety when I get like a so and so stitched you. I'm like,
a lot of anxiety, a lot.
Yeah, Diana didn't sleep. Yeah, she was
like,
like,
y'all know, you message me, hit me up. Because I get it. It's a lot.
We will need a lot of counseling and probably a lot of therapy from you, Selle.
It's wild. Trust me, I get it. It is one of those things where I'm like, but just know the block button is always in your favor.
Yes. But Selle, can you please? It is. Yeah. Selle, can you please tell me where to
it's
find
always
you?
In your favor.
Please.
Yes, you can listen to my podcast, Who Asked Me Podcast. It is on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can find me on TikTok at Who Asked Zelle. Zelle is SELLE. Not TikTok. Instagram is Who Asked Me Podcast, and my personal page is Who Asked Zelle as well. Yes. And then my YouTube, if you want, which is just Zelle.
So excited! Yes, she has a new vlog out, so please go watch it. Please do support our girl.
Oh.
Thank you,
we
folks.
Appreciate you. All right, everybody, thank you so much for listening. Please make sure you hit the like button, and please make sure to visit all of our Instagram, TikToks, and other
thank you,
websites.
everybody. Have
please.
a good one.
And thank you. All right, everybody, have a good one. Bye.